Why opera? Why wouldn't it be a good story just as a book or a film?
By show of hands, how many of you recognize the word opera?
It's a way of reflecting the world that we live in now.
What are some things you think of when you hear the word opera?
And the challenges, and arguably the Haberdasher Prince kind of shows you that a lot of these issues that we're talking about are as old as time.
Singing. There is a lot of singing in opera. What else do we think of? Yes. Singing. So much singing. It deserves to be said twice.
But we're using... You're going to hear sounds that are... The influences I have today are seeping through and out into this music, and that's just as relevant as the influences that, Verdi had.
So we like to say that opera is musical storytelling, and we have a very special story to share with you today. It is called The Haberdasher Prince.
There once was a king whose musical talent was fast as a link, as his golden dome palace, his golden dome.
We are so delighted to work with Rosabella and Dina. Together, this marriage of words and music is so special, and I think audiences are really going to be surprised by what they hear.
Having the power of an operatic voice sing it at you, and things that you wouldn't dare to even say outside of your own head, having somebody sing it in that power, and you hear it and you go, okay, it's cool to feel this, I'm okay with this, you know what I mean?
The Haberdasher Prince really marks the start of a new initiative for us, and that initiative is producing works that are suitable for families, intergenerational audiences to experience together.
Now everybody throw them!
And beyond just presenting the work, we're being really intentional about holding discussions after each performance so that audiences can connect the dots between the art that they're seeing on stage and their own personal lived experiences. The king had a pretty big arc. How would you describe the king at the beginning of the opera?
This is a faraway land. We don't know this land, but we can recognize things in this land that are very much like ours. So, for example, power dynamics. There's a king who only hears what he wants to hear. And it's a recognizable dynamic that I want children to learn about. I want them to be able to recognize and be wary of the leader that doesn't listen. Making his own clothes. His father would disapprove of that. Gender stereotypes, is a thinker in there too. Yeah, so the nice thing about both fantasy and fairy tale is that you get to look at human nature once removed, and it helps us to kind of recognize these things. And I think it's nice, especially for all ages. We all need reminding of certain things.
Now, turn to the person next to you. It's okay if you don't know them, and even better yet, and let's say those words together. Go find love in what you do. Be true to your own instrument.
Somebody might watch it and say, I didn't realize I might be being a bit hard on my partner or my sibling, or they might recognize that they're not necessarily being kind. I think that's the story aspect of it that's important.
The music evokes another place in the world. And again, that's going to be different depending on one's own experiences.
When I heard this piece first, it always sounded to me like this is the book when I was reading when I was a kid.
Storytelling and how it can get you directly, and it's such a powerful and joyful and incredible way to tell a story. Why are we not just all doing it?
Should I ask the consequence? Rest they're fearful for their lives because of my father. Should I ask the consequence? When they're working to serve
it's important that people feel that it's for them. And I don't like the idea that there is this assumption that opera is for the elite or people with money or people who are more cultured, or it's nonsense. It's a powerful storytelling tool. You can create a piece with a great deal of emotion if you can get people to laugh as well. And so I love that dance between humor and emotion. And I think sometimes that's when you can really access and sort of sneak in and really get people in their hearts. And I don't know if you can do that with just words on a page or with just music. There's something about those two elements fusing. One of the few places where we still get live instrumentation and often a full-size orchestra is opera, and it's just, there's nothing like that sort of visceral sensation of sitting in a room with live music, and that's just something I really want not just my kids, all kids to experience.